Ethereum is more than just a cryptocurrency. It is a revolutionary platform that uses blockchain technology to enable smart contracts and the creation of decentralized applications, dApps. Launched in 2015 by Vitalik Buterin and other developers, Ethereum was designed with a clear goal: to create a more flexible and robust blockchain that could be used for more than just financial transactions. Unlike Bitcoin, which is essentially a digital currency, Ethereum introduced the concept of smart contracts, which are self-executing agreements programmed to trigger automatically when certain conditions are met. This opens up a wide range of possibilities, from financial solutions to new models of digital governance. Ethereum also stands out as the foundation for the popularization of decentralized finance, or DeFi, which aims to create a financial system independent of intermediaries, such as banks and other traditional financial institutions. With DeFi, anyone, anywhere in the world can access financial services like loans, insurance, or value exchanges, all without the need for a centralized bank or broker. This, in turn, has generated enormous demand for the Ethereum network, resulting in a significant increase in the number of transactions and the value of Ethereum over the years. Ethereum's price is not just a reflection of speculation, but also an indicator of its growing adoption and utility. Over the years, the evolution of its price has closely followed the technological innovations that the platform has brought to the market. The increasing adoption of Ethereum in blockchain projects like DeFi and NFTs, non-fungible tokens, has driven up the value of the currency, making Ethereum one of the most valuable and influential cryptocurrencies in the world, with a significant impact on the global financial market. Ethereum emerged in 2015, created by Vitalik Buterin, a Russian-Canadian programmer who envisioned a more versatile and complex system than Bitcoin. While Bitcoin was designed as a decentralized digital currency, Ethereum was developed with a broader focus, aiming to allow the creation of decentralized applications through its blockchain. Buterin believed that Bitcoin, with its limited programming capabilities, could not serve as the foundation for the type of innovation he envisioned for blockchain technology. The breakthrough of Ethereum was to create a platform that was not only for financial transactions, but also allowed for the development of smart contracts, offering a secure and automated way to make agreements between parties without the need for intermediaries. The concept of smart contracts on Ethereum was truly revolutionary. It allows the programming of automatic rules that execute when certain conditions are met. This marked the beginning of a new era of possibilities for developers and entrepreneurs. For example, contracts between companies, property transfers, or even financial systems could be carried out in a completely automated way without the risk of fraud, greatly increasing trust in transactions. Ethereum not only competed with Bitcoin, but also set a new standard in the cryptocurrency market, offering not just a new currency, but a platform for other coins and applications to be developed. Since its launch, Ethereum's price began to attract the attention of investors. In the beginning, the cryptocurrency was very cheap and its adoption was limited. However, with the growing interest in smart contracts and the ability to build decentralized systems, the price of Ethereum experienced a rapid rise. More and more people and companies began to recognize the platform's potential, and the currency gained value as more users began integrating it into their solutions. Ethereum, with its innovations and possibilities, quickly became one of the most promising cryptocurrencies, positioning itself as one of the central pillars of the decentralized finance universe. In the early years after the launch of Ethereum, the price of the coin experienced considerable volatility. Initially, the value of Ethereum was very low, with each unit being traded for just cents. which made it difficult for many investors to see the real potential of the cryptocurrency. However, as Ethereum began to attract the attention of developers and entrepreneurs, the demand for the coin began to grow. Volatility was a constant feature in the first months, with the price rising and falling as the market tried to assess the platform's true value. This behavior was typical of the cryptocurrency market, where investor confidence tends to fluctuate based on news, innovations, and even speculation. Ethereum's big turning point came with the rise of ICOs, initial coin offerings, that started being conducted on the platform. ICOs were a way to raise funds for new projects, using Ethereum as the currency to sell tokens. This phenomenon caused Ethereum's price to skyrocket as more people started using the platform to launch their own projects. Ethereum became the platform of choice for new blockchain startups, which created a growth cycle that led to a significant increase in value. The rise of ICOs was one of the main factors that boosted Ethereum's price in its early years, consolidating its position as the second largest cryptocurrency on the market. However, volatility also had its downside. The speculation surrounding ICOs and high expectations about Ethereum's future created enormous pressure on the price of the coin. At times, Ethereum's price dropped rapidly, causing investors to fear that the cryptocurrency might not live up to its promised success. These fluctuations created an uncertain scenario, where investor confidence was challenged by how quickly the price of the coin could change. Still, the platform continued to grow and innovate, maintaining its relevance in the cryptocurrency market, which allowed for a gradual recovery in its value. In 2016, Ethereum faced one of its biggest challenges in history, the DAO hack, Decentralized Autonomous Organization. The DAO was a decentralized venture capital project based on Ethereum, aiming to create a platform to fund new blockchain projects. However, a flaw in the DAO's code allowed a hacker to exploit a vulnerability and steal approximately $50 million worth of Ether. This event deeply shook investors' trust in the platform and led to a significant drop in Ethereum's price. The market reacted negatively, and many began to question the security of the network and Ethereum's future. In response to the attack, the Ethereum community made a historic decision to implement a hard fork in the blockchain to reverse the damage caused by the hack. The hard fork resulted in the creation of two versions of Ethereum, the original, known as Ethereum Classic, and the modified version, which became simply known as Ethereum. While the decision was controversial and caused divisions within the community, the hard fork was seen as a necessary measure to preserve trust and the integrity of the platform. Ethereum's price dropped significantly after the hack, but the implementation of the hard fork helped stabilize the situation and restore investor confidence. Ethereum's recovery after the DAO crisis was remarkable. With security restored and trust renewed, Ethereum gradually began to recover. The decision to implement the hard fork proved crucial for the project's continuation, as it allowed the platform to continue developing without the presence of a serious vulnerability. Although the crisis temporarily impacted the coin's price, Ethereum emerged stronger and more resilient, with the platform continuously improved and expanded. The market soon recognized this, and Ethereum began a recovery trajectory that would lead to even greater growth in the following years. The popularization of ICOs, initial coin offerings, played a fundamental role in Ethereum's rise. In 2017, the platform established itself as the primary venue for these offerings, where new cryptocurrencies and tokens were launched to raise funds for blockchain projects. This made Ethereum the backbone of an immense number of cryptocurrency startups, attracting both entrepreneurs and investors interested in new decentralized business models. During this period, Ethereum's price skyrocketed, and the cryptocurrency experienced explosive growth, reaching its historical price peak of nearly $400 per unit in early 2018. The demand for the coin was driven by the possibility of using Ethereum to create tokens and smart contracts that facilitated the creation of innovative new projects. In addition to ICOs, another groundbreaking innovation brought by Ethereum was DeFi, decentralized finance. By allowing the creation of financial protocols without the need for traditional intermediaries like banks or brokers, Ethereum became the foundation for a new financial revolution. With DeFi, people gained access to a wide range of financial products such as loans, cryptocurrency exchanges, insurance, and even savings and yield systems, all in a decentralized way and without depending on a centralized institution. The popularity of DeFi led to even greater adoption of the Ethereum network, which saw an increase in transaction volumes and the appreciation of its coin. DeFi provided full immersion for many new users into the blockchain-based economy and was one of the main drivers of Ethereum's value appreciation in recent years. However, as Ethereum expanded and more people and projects connected to its platform, issues related to scalability began to arise. While the network was innovative, it faced challenges when the number of transactions increased. This placed pressure on the Ethereum network as high transaction fees and network congestion made the user experience difficult. These scalability challenges contributed to Ethereum's price becoming even more volatile during certain periods, as investors became concerned with the network's ability to handle the growing demand. Despite this, Ethereum's innovation and impact on the cryptocurrency and decentralized finance world helped solidify its position as the second-largest cryptocurrency in the market, laying the foundation for the network's future. In 2018, the cryptocurrency market experienced a major collapse that drastically impacted the price of Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. After the peak in value that occurred at the end of 2017, 2018 was marked by a slowdown and sharp decline in the price of all major cryptocurrencies. Ethereum was no exception, and its price plummeted from over $1,400 to below $100 in a matter of months. This drop was the result of a combination of factors, including the slowdown of enthusiasm for ICOs, the lack of clear regulation for cryptocurrencies, and the growing market skepticism about the sustainability of the crypto economic model. This period of decline was also affected by the failure of several ICOs that had been conducted in previous years. Many of these initial offerings failed to deliver on their promises, and in some cases, the projects did not even develop the solutions they promised. This caused a crisis of trust in the cryptocurrency market, and Ethereum, being one of the main platforms for ICOs, was directly impacted. The sharp decline in Ethereum's price was also driven by a broader economic uncertainty and the lack of mass adoption, which remained a distant goal for most cryptocurrencies. Despite this, Ethereum did not disappear, and on the contrary, it began to adapt and strengthen. The platform continued to develop its technologies, improving security and exploring new solutions to address issues such as scalability and high transaction fees. The 2018 crisis became an important turning point for Ethereum, which, despite the price drop, survived and began repositioning itself for the next phase of growth. Ethereum started to focus more on technological innovations and attracted the attention of long-term investors who saw the declines as an opportunity to buy. This resilience in the face of the crisis was crucial for its later recovery and for solidifying its position as one of the most important cryptocurrencies in the market. In 2020, Ethereum experienced one of the greatest recoveries in its history. The cryptocurrency market gradually began to recover after the 2018 crisis, and Ethereum, in particular, benefited greatly from emerging trends. One of the biggest drivers of this recovery was the exponential growth of DeFi, decentralized finance, which gained massive popularity throughout 2020. DeFi allowed users to access a variety of financial services directly on the blockchain, such as loans, insurance, and cryptocurrency exchanges, without relying on traditional intermediaries. Ethereum, being the platform of choice for building DeFi projects, saw an increasing demand for its coin and smart contract solutions. The growing interest in DeFi brought a new wave of investments and transactions to Ethereum, pushing its price to new heights. Protocols like Uniswap, Aave, and Compound, which operate on the Ethereum network, began attracting billions of dollars in total value locked, TVL, and with this, Ethereum's price skyrocketed. This phenomenon was a reflection of Ethereum's growing recognition as the foundation for a new digital financial system. Additionally, the rise in the adoption of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which also rely on the Ethereum network, contributed to the cryptocurrency's appreciation. These factors, combined with the low interest rate environment and the search for alternative investments amid the pandemic, helped push Ethereum's price to new highs. The recovery of 2020 was not limited to external factors like the growth of DeFi and NFTs. Ethereum itself made significant progress in its network upgrades. Ethereum 2.0, which promised to improve the scalability, security, and sustainability of the network, began to be implemented with the introduction of the staking phase, proof of stake replacing the proof of work model. This transition was seen as a crucial change for the network's future, making Ethereum more efficient and less energy dependent, which attracted even more investors interested in a more sustainable model. Ethereum's price, which had been affected by previous crises, was now on a solid growth trajectory, with the community and investors more confident than ever in its future. One of the most anticipated updates for Ethereum was the launch of Ethereum 2.0, a radical overhaul aimed at improving the network's scalability, security, and efficiency. The main change introduced by Ethereum 2.0 was the transition from the proof-of-work (POW) consensus model to proof-of-stake (POS). In the POW model, miners compete to solve complex mathematical puzzles to validate transactions, which requires a large amount of energy consumption. With POS, instead of miners, validators are chosen to create new blocks based on the amount of ether they stake as collateral. This change not only makes Ethereum more energy efficient, but also enhances its security and resistance to attacks. In addition to being more eco-friendly, Ethereum 2.0 promises to solve one of the biggest issues the network faced: scalability. Ethereum, as it existed until then, was overloaded with the growing number of transactions and decentralized applications, resulting in high transaction fees and long waiting times. The solution to this was the introduction of sharding, a technique that divides the network into smaller parts called shards, allowing multiple transactions to be processed simultaneously. This will not only increase the network's capacity, but also allow it to support even more applications and users, which in turn should have a positive impact on Ethereum's price as its utility expands. Ethereum 2.0 also brought benefits to investors. By participating in the proof-of-stake system, users can stake their ether and earn rewards in return, which creates an additional incentive to hold the coin. This staking system helped reduce the circulating supply of ether, which may exert upward pressure on the price as more coins are locked in the validation process. With the completion of the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, the platform is positioned to face the challenges of the future, solidifying its place as one of the main pillars of decentralized finance and blockchain innovation. The impact on Ethereum's price is already evident, with the expectation of a more efficient network attracting more users and investors, further boosting the cryptocurrency's value. With Ethereum's exponential growth, a growing competition from other blockchains also emerged, all trying to meet the same demand for smart contracts and dApps, decentralized applications. Networks like Solana, Polkadot, Cardano, and Binance Smart Chain began offering faster or cheaper solutions to the problems Ethereum was facing, such as high transaction fees and slow transaction speeds. Although Ethereum was innovative, it faced scalability challenges and consequently limitations in terms of large-scale usage. This caused many investors and developers to begin looking for alternatives that would provide a smoother experience and lower costs. However, Ethereum remains the market leader in terms of adoption and innovation, thanks to its strong community and the ongoing upgrade of its infrastructure. The introduction of Ethereum 2.0 and its focus on improving scalability through solutions like sharding and proof of stake are seen as a direct response to the growing competition. Ethereum's ability to adapt to these new market demands and challenges has been one of the key factors in maintaining its position as the leading blockchain for building smart contracts and dApps. The platform has demonstrated impressive flexibility, with continuous innovations such as the implementation of Layer 2, additional solution layers, to relieve the load from the main network. Ethereum's price continues to be impacted by the market's perception of its ability to adapt and compete with other blockchains. The growing demand for DeFi platforms, NFTs, and other decentralized solutions operating on Ethereum, along with the technological advancement provided by Ethereum 2.0, make the network's future even more promising. While the competition is fierce, Ethereum has shown resilience, and its leadership position in the cryptocurrency ecosystem remains strong, with a solid user and developer base. Ultimately, Ethereum's success in the global market will depend on its ability to maintain innovation and scalability while facing increasingly fierce competition. The future of Ethereum looks promising, yet it is also filled with challenges. As the adoption of its technology grows, Ethereum finds itself in a crucial position to shape the future of decentralized finance, smart contracts, and decentralized applications. The full implementation of Ethereum 2.0, which promises to improve not only scalability but also security and network efficiency, is a key milestone for its long-term success. As the network becomes more efficient and accessible, it is expected that more businesses, financial institutions, and even governments will explore Ethereum's possibilities, further increasing its adoption and, consequently, its value. However, Ethereum will also face significant challenges. Competition from other blockchains like Solana and Cardano, which offer faster and cheaper solutions, will continue to pose a threat. If Ethereum fails to meet expectations in terms of scalability and transaction costs, it may lose part of its developer and user base to these alternatives. Moreover, regulatory issues in various parts of the world could impact the adoption of Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. Financial sector regulations and laws regarding digital assets are constantly evolving, and Ethereum will need to adapt to ensure its continued growth and sustainability. Despite these challenges, the long-term prospects for Ethereum are positive. With an active community, a robust ecosystem, and constantly evolving infrastructure, Ethereum remains the preferred platform for building decentralized solutions and smart contracts. Its crucial role in the DeFi market and the popularization of NFTs confirms its central position in the future of cryptocurrencies. Ethereum not only has the potential to dominate the smart contract market, but also to revolutionize the way we interact with money, assets, and transactions in a global digital economy. Ethereum's price, driven by its ongoing evolution and adoption, is likely to continue rising, with investors and users becoming increasingly confident in its trajectory.